Hey, YouTube, Rich Return Rider, right back at you, man. Go over here. I don't ever want to hear you Honda Goldwing folks say anything about Harley Davidson riders.
Right here, baby. Harley
These are all Harley Davidson riders. Ruby was stranded next to the road. Lorna's over there. We're waiting for a tow truck. Wood Jr. of all people, guys. Now you know what his video is going to look like when he does his video talking about a Goldwing, right?
It'd be like,
so Wood Jr. bought out his battery pack, which I thought I had one. What's your name?
Chi-Town, really. That's my bike name.
Chi-Town Kid.
Chi-Town Kid.
Chris,
yeah.
What's your name?
Edwin.
Edwin. Hey, gotta tell you guys, Edwin was the first, man, I might move from Florida to Georgia. Edwin was the first one that pulled up and made sure I was all right. He was on the ride also. He was on the ride.
Yeah, I was on the group ride.
He was on the group ride, you know. And here, I'm gonna let Wood Jr. go, man, so he make his dinner. I gotta cancel the dinner because I gotta go.
Man, they know I love to eat, but you know what? I tried to put my appetite to the side to help my guy, man.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
But listen.
All right, guys.
Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel. My name is Rich. Name of the channel is Rich the Return Rider. For all you folks that's here for the first time, thanks for tuning in. For all you folks that's return viewers, I appreciate you coming back. For all that subscribe to the channel, appreciate the support. For all you return riders, man, continue to leave comments in the comment sections and share your knowledge and experience with us all. You know, that's what this channel is about, guys. It's my journey back into riding motorcycles and the things that I learned. Passing it forward and sharing it with you guys as I experience this journey back into riding. Been away from riding for 20 plus years. The wife, Lorna, has joined me. And I'm more than happy to share this experience with you guys. It was a well anticipated video that I wanted to do. And I'm hoping, as you see the title there, that in this experience that I'm sharing with you guys, you won't let it happen to you. So let's talk a little bit about it. What you're looking at here on the left, guys, is my 2019 Honda Goldwing Ruby. On the right side there is my 2012 Suzuki Boulevard M109R. And what we're going to be talking about, guys, is the battery life on these motorcycles, man, and some of the things that we can do to prevent these motorcycles from leaving us stranded in the streets. Now, a little history. Ruby, I picked Ruby up probably about, I want to say approximately 3 years or so now. It's a 2019. I bought this motorcycle, I want to say around March on 2021. And like I said, I've had it a couple of years here now. Now, when I went to first purchase this motorcycle, guys, when I went to pick the motorcycle up, the battery had died. I was told they left the accessories on and the battery died. So I went out, I had some lunch, I came back, the guys put a charge on the motorcycle. I brought the motorcycle home. I got up the next morning, I was planning to go to Daytona's Bike Week and the battery was completely dead. I went out to Advanced Auto Parts and I picked up a battery. It was a die-hard battery at the time. The original battery, or what I think was the original battery in the motorcycle, was a Yuasa battery. Yuasa, I think that's the way it's pronounced. A 250 cranking amps on that battery. The one that I picked up had a little bit more cranking amps. Don't remember the details of it, but I have turned that core in. And on the day that the motorcycle died on me, or I keep saying died on me, I stalled the motorcycle, it refused to start, and it showed no signs of starting. But this was the battery that I picked up on that specific day. This is from O'Reilly's. And this one I will consider to be an upgrade from the one I have. I think this is 310 or 330 cranking amps. It says it on the battery. I'll show it there. I don't see it on the box here. But yeah, folks, let's talk a little bit about the thing that had me a little bit puzzled about this event. Now, I am 60 years old. I have owned over 40 years, probably about 20 cars and 4 motorcycles. And I've never had a battery go dead on me without giving me any signs or indications of having any kind of trouble. So this was an interesting experience, and let's talk a little bit about it. So I got up the morning, we were in Savannah, Georgia. We were getting ready to do the Robert Simmons Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle 3rd annual global ride, a ride that he does to celebrate 3 years of him doing YouTube. Got up the morning time, it was a little chilly, it was about 48 degrees. I went outside, I started the motorcycle. I put my wife's seat on about 3. I put mine, set mine to about that. Now I do have the Gold Strike handlebar grips. So I put those up to flush because I wanted the heat to radiate through them. Motorcycle started up that morning with no problems. Now, the thing that I have on the motorcycle that I run all my accessory through is the show chrome accessory box, and it bypasses the canvas system on these motorcycles. So don't feel like I had anything that might have been directly connected to the battery that might have caused any kind of a drainage. So let's talk about it, folks. Now hang on to the end of the video, guys, and I'm gonna show you something that I did connect to that battery that is a game changer. And it would have probably allowed me to see what was going on more with the charging system of the bike, but that's gonna come to that end of the video. So let's talk about it. I went out in the morning, we got on the bike, we rode over to the destination where we were gonna be kickstand up at about 10 or 10:30. Had the bike there parked, no problems, everything seemed to be fine. I do have 2 USB ports that's hooked up also to the show chrome accessory ignition side of that fuse box. So when the ignition turns on, that unit doesn't even come on until you hit a button to turn it on. The cool thing about that, guys, is that also gives you a reading of like 12 volts. If you rev the motorcycle, it will show you higher voltage, 14 plus volts. So sometimes I use that to kind of get an indication of where my battery is and so forth, but it's in an awkward position. It's not something that you can monitor. So as we went on, we rode for the day, guys. We were out with quite a different a variety of bikes, mostly Harley Davidsons. I think we had 2 Goldwings, a BMWs, Indians, and so forth. So it was quite embarrassing, or it's quite, you know, not cool to have the only motorcycle that refused to run that day be a Honda Goldwing. So let's talk about some of the things, man, that I have researched. Now, I've seen Chris Caliente do a video where I think he went out to California or something and suffered a similar situation. A couple of different Goldwing riders have had similar situations. Cruiseman Garage have done a video also talking about the batteries. Now, to be honest with you guys, I don't know if the batteries are not made the way they used to be, or if the requirements of these motorcycles just drain so much more from the batteries. But it seems to me, from my experience, that the average life of the batteries from the 2019 original battery, which was approximately maybe less than 2 years and it failed, and then my battery that's about 2 years old and it failed, that the life of these batteries is approximately about 2 years. Now here in Florida, that might not be unusual because of the heat and so forth. I have had to change a battery on my wife's 2019 Lexus recently. I have also changed a battery on my 2018 Highlander probably a year or so back. So I'm thinking maybe like the heat of something here in Florida could be part of the reason. But one of the things that someone mentioned is the fact that we might not be getting batteries in the qualities that we used to be getting batteries. Don't know if that's the case, but let's talk a little bit about it. And the thing that surprised me here, and how to prevent yourself from being stranded. Now, on this specific day, we are riding coming back from the ride. We're heading over to his, where he was having the party. And I'm slow riding in the traffic and I stalled the motorcycle. I went to start it back. No indication of any kind of life. To the point where I almost couldn't believe that it was the battery. Now, again, thanks to Wood Jr. that pulled up and helped me out. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Edwin, a guy that was behind me that kind of diverted the traffic so we can pull the motorcycle off to the side. And of course, Chi-Town Kid also pulled over. This is a guy that wasn't with the group but pulled over to assist and find out what's going on. And the thing that was puzzling to me as I went through all the checks is I really didn't believe that it was the battery. So one of the things that I have connected right to the battery, that's not through the show chrome box, is a battery tender. And again, I usually try to charge the battery when I'm here at night, so I don't always do it. But what I did is I got this little extension piece that if I ever need to jump the battery, I can hook this right up to the battery tender, connect it to the 2 cables, and jump start the bike. So when I hooked these up and I went to use my Halo bolts, this is a charging system. We got about 3 of these in the house. Actually, this one no longer works. It comes with a light, flashlight. It have a charging port that's supposed to be for a laptop and 2 USB ports here. So once I hook this up and I hook this up to the battery, when you first hook this thing up and you hit a button here, that green light comes on and it flashes. When it's ready to charge, it goes to a solid. It was weird because it never went to a solid, which meant it never was ready to charge the motorcycle. Now, the thing that puzzled me, guys, is when I went to remove the cables here and they touch, I still had a spark from the battery. For any of you old timers know, back in the days, man, it used to be one of the ways that we test our batteries. We might take a hanger wire or something and go across the battery and get a spark. So there was something there, but it just wasn't enough to turn the motorcycle over. But not only just turn the motorcycle over, it wasn't even enough to give the motorcycle ignition. It was weird. Just couldn't understand it. So what I'm going to say to that point that I later learned is that you could have enough voltage, but just not enough cranking amps. So anyway, we're going to move on from that. The other thing that I'm going to mention is all jumpers are not created equal, guys. Now, like I said, we got about 3 of these halos here. They have always done the trick during low battery situations. But what I realized that day that Wood Jr. helped me to realize was the halo wasn't adequate enough to start a dead battery. So as I was watching the Chris Caliente videos with him putting in the lithium ion battery, he talked about this product here. It's called, I'm not going to take credit for it, it's called the Noco Boost Plus. And the Noco Boost Plus GB40. This thing comes well packaged. It comes with a very sturdy connection here. And these are the battery cables that's for it. And this is not just a jumper pack, man. This thing has what they call a boost on it. So as Wood Jr., as you saw there in the video, pulled over, and he came over and he made that remark. Wow, Honda Goldwing next to the street. And then he said something that I thought was interesting. I'm going to share it with you guys. He said it. It is rare to see a Honda Goldwing on the side of the streets. So it's got to be something simple. Now, as I was saying, it wasn't the battery. I thought maybe it was the fob. So I was like, it can't be the battery. I got spark from the battery when I touched those two things. And he was pretty adamant that it had to be something simple. So he got out something that is similar to this, but it had a Harley Davidson packaging on it. And as you can see there with the green light, guys, when he hooked it up to the battery, that green light never actually showed up until he pressed this little boost button here, and then we started getting that green light. And when that green light came on, we heard a click. Now, one of the things that he complained about that I also realized was how hard it was to get to the positive terminal on the Honda Goldwing battery. So what I'm going to say, guys, is Max McAllister have a bolt, an extended bolt for like $10 on his website. I tried to order it, but it wouldn't allow me to order it the other day, where you can, it extends a little bit out and you can get up in that corner there and you can clip these onto it. If I don't get that order from him, that bolt from him, I might go to Home Depot and see if I can get something similar. But these were my connections. Really don't know if these were adequate. Wood Jr. didn't trust them, so he tried to get to the battery, and he did get to the battery. Thanks again. And he got to the battery, he hooked it up, and we was able to jump start the bike. And that was it, man. So the difference between this and this is not the one that I actually had. I had one that actually worked. And this is a big difference, guys. Get yourself one of these, and if it's that battery, this is going to do the trick. You can see here on the box. Let's unbox this a little here. Comes in a really nice box. Now, I am not sponsored or anything by this. I did see this when I was watching the Chris Caliente video with him doing the lithium batteries. It says up to a 6.0 liter or a 3.0 diesel. I watched a video on YouTube where a gentleman actually took his cables off of his 8-cylinder, hooked it directly up to the Noco boost here, hit that boost button, and it started an 8-cylinder. He also went to a 6-cylinder and did it. All battery boosters or battery chargers are not created equal, guys. That's one of the things that I want you guys to take away from this. So you're never stranded. Now, of course, I've gotten some remarks from other folks about, hey, the Goldwing next to the road, and that's something we don't see. But this is what I'm going to say, folks. The Titanic was built as a boat that would never, or a ship that would never sink. We know that story there, guys. As long as man made it, it's fallible. Anyway, let's move on. I'm grateful to say today, guys, I don't see a lot of motorcycles or see a lot of manufacturers that have motorcycles that's considered unreliable. You know, the older bikes back in the days maybe, but the new generations of motorcycles, all brands today, Harley, Indy, and BMW. It's rare to see a motorcycle next to the street today that is a more modern motorcycle. So let's go on from that. Yeah, the Honda Goldwing refused to start. It was the battery, guys. Don't get too excited. Now, when Wood Jr. pulled up, and I said, you know what? I think it's the fob. He did also carry around those extra little circular batteries. I think they're called the CR2032s. He pulled one of those out. This guy was ready, man. He pulled one of those out. We put it in, and it wasn't that. So he was pretty adamant it was the battery, and of course he was right. So guys, when I watched Chris Caliente install the lithium battery, my wife and I got excited and heard him talk about something called a battery monitoring system. In this case, this one is called the Linux Bluetooth monitor system. And this thing gives you lots of information, guys. You hook it up to your batteries, the red to the positive terminal, the left to the negative terminal. You got a readout here of what it's doing with the battery. It goes straight to your Bluetooth. You download an app, and it gives you the condition of the battery. It gives you if the battery is low. It gives you the charging and the cranking of the battery. Guys, it's a game changer. If I had that, I would know exactly what is going on with the battery. I think it's a great addition, guys. It's probably like 30-something bucks. There's a number of different ones. They go to cars, and they also go to motorcycles. Right on your phone as you're riding, you can look and see the condition of your battery. Once you walk up, I think within 100 yards or 100 feet or something like that of your battery, it gives you an alert. You can look and see the condition of the battery. And some of the greatest advice that I have gotten, again, thanks Road Glide, like I say on this channel, man, we get comments in where we learn. And as we learn, we share. He said, don't ever leave your bike overnight without the monitor system. Now, if you're out on the road traveling, that's a little different, but at least you're traveling and riding every day. But once you put your motorcycle up and you park it, guys, put it on some kind of a good charging system, but most importantly, some kind of a battery maintenance system. I use the Schumacher systems here. I got a number of different ones that's here. I also had a battery tender that actually started to fail and blink. So I don't know what's going on with that, but that one is garbage. But yeah, the Honda Goldwing is never going to be here parked up now without some kind of a charging system on it. Anyway, folks, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. You know, I always say at the end of my videos, guys, I don't care what you ride, add some protection to the motorcycle. I got the World Motop drop guards. I see Max McAllister has finally come out with his product. A lot of folks seem to love it. Of the tip over on the bars or the tip over protection on the motorcycle. So go check that out, folks. Get in these parking lots, man. Practice emergency braking and swerving, if nothing else. And, you know, do these advanced safety classes. At the end of the day, man, it's better that you drop your bike on the concourse or on the parking lot than to crash them out there on the streets. No throttle therapy today, guys. We're coming to you from the garage. Rich out. Thanks for watching.